Welcome back, everyone. Today I have an opinion piece about an opinion piece, and this is a New York Post article entitled Washington Post Opinion Editor Told Angry Staff They Can Resign If They Can't Cope with Bezos's Endorsement Decision. And now, if you haven't heard that Jeff Bezos has chosen not to endorse Kamala Harris publicly, this is really upsetting a lot of his staff because they're very liberal people on his staff, and they disagree with his stance. And it doesn't mean that he necessarily doesn't endorse her personally. He's just choosing not to endorse her publicly. Has anyone ever done that? They've just withheld their opinion on something. Maybe they are undecided or they don't want to share their opinion. It's just their opinion. That's just the decision they're making at the time. Maybe that's what Jeff Bezos is doing, but that's not good enough for his staff. They want him to publicly endorse Harris or denounce Trump. And I'll jump into the article here. The top opinion editor at the Washington Post had a frank conversation with his staff, fuming over the decision not to make a presidential endorsement, telling them that they can resign if they cannot come to terms with it. The Washington Free Beacon obtained a recording of a tense meeting on Monday led by the Washington Post's editorial page editor, David Shipley. According to the Free Beacon, Shipley told opinion staffers they were free to express their dissent, but ultimately should decide whether they are able to stay or should go. One thing that can't happen to this country is for Trump to get another 4 years, one editor said at the meeting, per the Free Beacon. But is that the truth, or is that an opinion? I thought this was the opinion board, not the truth board. They're free to express their subjective opinion, but not necessarily what's true. And by what authority is this man speaking? Is he invoking the authority of the sun, moon, and the stars? Is the constellation Neptunus endowing him with some special knowledge that no one else has that I don't have? I mean, who is this guy? Was I born into his world? And he's the one who has all truth and knowledge. He holds it in a little plastic box from the Container Store. That's where he holds the truth of the universe. This guy is the authority on everything. He says that Trump can't get another 4 years. Well, by my calculations, that is categorically wrong. I mean, it's a wide universe. It expanses for trillions and trillions and trillions of miles. It doesn't end really. So I think maybe in this universe that I live in, that possibility is very real. That Trump could get another 4 years. But this guy is on the opinion board of the Washington Post, so far be it from me to disagree with his opinion. I think I was laboring under a misunderstanding of how editorial boards work until Friday, Goins later said. I was pretty taken aback by such a direct intervention in the board from the owner. And my response to Goins is that, yes, you are under a deeply concerning misunderstanding. Jeff Bezos is the owner of the Washington Post. He owns it. The owner of anything is the ultimate decision maker of whatever that thing is that they own. By this logic, if Goins took his car into the shop and left it for the day, told the mechanic to figure it out, and the mechanic saw that he needed a new transmission, or maybe he didn't need a new transmission. The mechanic just wanted to make some money off him. But maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Who knows? Because the mechanic is the authority on this car, right? Goins is just the owner. Who's Goins? Goins is just the owner. What authority does he have? The mechanic is the one who has the authority, right? The editorial board is the one that should have the authority, not Jeff Bezos. He just owns it, right? He's just the one who's poured all of his money into this asset and he's invested with skin in the game. Who is he? He has no authority. So this is interesting logic that Goins is using to justify his opinion. Several staffers expressed concerns over the control Bezos may have over the paper going forward. concerns. Uh-oh, that's too bad. Opinion columnist Dana Milbank wondered if the billionaire could interfere if it benefits Jeff's interests and it'll trump our journalism, a concern he told the Free Beacon. Yes, the answer is yes. Jeff can interfere because he owns the newspaper. He makes the decisions. He decides what goes to press, what doesn't. It is his. But is opinion real journalism, or is it just your interpretation of reality? I think that's why they call it the opinion section, is because it's someone's interpretive stance on something. It's their vantage point on reality. If they didn't want to write opinion, they would write news. They would report the facts. They would report what is actually happening. But that's not what they're doing. They're reporting their opinion. They're giving their opinion, a single person's opinion. They're not reporting on the reality of the world, right? The universal objective reality. It's my belief that everyone is entitled to an opinion, but not everyone is entitled to making everyone agree with their opinion. But again, is that just my opinion, or is that the truth? Is it some people's authority? Is it their power to make other people agree with their opinion? Like they've been endowed with some special knowledge and power that gives them authority to discern reality, and everyone has to align themselves with that opinion. I don't know. I'm just some guy. The truth is that Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. If anyone had a different opinion about that, they would be objectively wrong. So there is some objective reality in the universe, right? If I said that Jeff Bezos does not own the Washington Post, that would be wrong. That would not be a correct observation of reality. It doesn't matter if it's my opinion, it's wrong. Liberal columnist and MSNBC contributor Gene Robinson fumed that the Washington Post just pissed off and drove away a lot of our most loyal and avid readers. Another opinion staffer insisted that the damage to the board and the section and the paper is incalculable. Isaac Newton couldn't calculate the damage done to this. Albert Einstein couldn't calculate the damage done. Euclid couldn't calculate the damage done to this board and the Washington Post. It's impossible to calculate. Again, this is not opinion. This is objective reality because it's coming from the Washington Post opinion board. So again, my question is, where do these people think that they're getting their authority from? The sun, the moon, the stars? Can we consult with them? Can I have a conversation with the blade of grass and in the tree outside? Can I have that conversation? What happens when the tree and the sun and the moon and the stars disagree with the opinion writer on the Washington Post opinion board? Does that happen? Do they get into a shouting match? What does that look like? But the whole point of me posting this video is to show everyone that you have to have some understanding of other people's opinions, that other people have opinions, and that we're a nation of opinions. If you ask, 300 million people what their opinion is on something, you'll get 600 million opinions, right? We are, by my estimations, we are about 4 days away from the election, and I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I'm one of those people. I'm honestly torn. There's someone who I feel I should vote for, and then there's someone who I really want to vote for, and I don't know who that's going to be yet. Maybe I'll do it today. Maybe I'll do it and turn my ballot in. I don't know, but I think we're human beings, and even inside of us, we have conflicting opinions on things. There are things that we want to be true, and there are things we know to be true, and those two things conflict, and we have to resolve those things within ourselves. And if we have difficulty resolving those things within ourselves, how much more difficult is it to resolve them with other people? And so I think that's why we need to have grace with other people, because we have to have grace with ourselves. We have to have patience with ourselves and understand what we're feeling and work through those competing ideas and beliefs and feelings and come to decisions. And so that's, I think, something that we need to extend to each other, especially during this time when it's so divisive, emotions are so high, is just to be good to each other, have grace with each other, have patience with each other, and just understand maybe someone's point of view, like where they're coming from, their background, why they feel that one person should be the president and another person shouldn't. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below. Have a great November, and don't give up when you can get ahead.